Hi everyone, welcome back to Ride Waves USA, where we live and breathe the freedom of two wheels. Today, we're diving deep into the 2025 Harley-Davidson Fat Boy, a legend reborn, refined, and ready to rumble down every open road you can throw at it. Starting at $22,599, the 2025 Fat Boy isn't just a motorcycle, it's a damn statement. A chrome-drenched icon that's loud, proud, and unapologetically American. If you're here, you probably already know the name Fat Boy. This isn't just a model in the Harley lineup, it's the bike that Arnold Schwarzenegger rode through fire in Terminator 2, the machine that defined what a cruiser should feel like. But in 2025, the Fat Boy has evolved. It's leaner in spirit but still beefy in presence. It's smoother on the ride but just as punchy in attitude. Now before we get into the nitty-gritty, take a moment and just look at it. That solid disc Lakester wheel design is still here. It's been part of the Fat Boy's DNA for years and it's staying. Harley knows better than to mess with a good thing. That thick front tire, a 160mm wide A, is practically a rolling bicep. And the rear? 240mm of pure asphalt melting muscle. This bike doesn't whisper, it growls. So what's under the tank in 2025? Harley gave the Fat Boy the Milwaukee-Eight 114 engine. That's 114 cubic inches or 1,868 cc for those who speak metric. This power plant is all torque, a 119 feet-to-pounds at just 3,000 RPM. Twist the throttle, and it launches forward with the kind of smooth brutality only a Harley can deliver. You feel it in your chest before you even hit 40. It's not just fast, it's satisfying. And that's important, because any brand can throw horsepower at a frame, but Harley gives you soul. And here's the thing, this engine is refined, the balance is better, the vibrations toned down just enough to make those long highway hauls more enjoyable, but it still lets you feel the machine, because nobody wants a cruiser that feels like a sewing machine. You want to know you're riding something that weighs over 700 pounds and means every bit of it. Let's talk about the frame. The Softail chassis, introduced a few years back, is still the foundation here, and it's doing some serious heavy lifting. Lighter than the old Dyna, stiffer than the older Softails, and just more responsive. If you think Harleys are only for straight roads, think again. The 2025 Fat Boy takes corners with confidence. Not like a sport bike, but it doesn't wallow like older cruisers. It's planted, solid. You feel in control, not along for the ride. Suspension-wise, it's got a high-performance front fork with dual-bending valve tech. That's a mouthful, but what it means is a smoother, more controlled ride. Whether you're on fresh blacktop or rough rural roads, it soaks up the bumps without feeling floaty. In the rear, you get an adjustable monoshock hidden under the seat. That's part of what gives the Fat Boy its slammed, muscular look and no visible rear springs. Clean lines, pure muscle. If you're riding solo or with a passenger, adjustability is quick and simple. Dial it in and roll out. Braking performance, you've got solid stopping power here, a disc brakes front and rear, ABS standard. It's confidence inspiring, especially on a bike this heavy, because when you're pushing a machine that big and that powerful, you want to know you can bring it to a halt without drama. Now let's talk about the design, because let's be honest, you don't just buy a Fat Boy, you wear it. It's part of your image, your vibe. And in 2025, Harley has kept that aggressive bulldog stance, that beefy front end, that low-slung, stretched-out silhouette that looks like it's doing 80 standing still. But it's also got refinement. The LED lighting is crisp. The finishes 8 chrome lovers rejoice, are glossy, deep, and loud. This thing turns heads at every light. Color options this year are bold. You've got classic vivid black if you want to keep it traditional, but Harley's throwing in bright billiard blue, red rock, and even an industrial yellow that one turns every head. And the fit and finish is just top-notch. You sit on this bike, and everything feels substantial, from the tank to the handlebars to the footboards, not pegs. Footboards, this thing's made for comfort and control. Speaking of comfort, the seat height is a manageable 25.9 inches. That's low enough for most riders to flat-foot it at stops, giving you that grounded, connected feeling. The seat itself is wide, supportive, and built for distance. You're not gonna want to get off this thing. Riding position? feet forward, fists low, eyes up. It puts you in the classic Harley power pose. And on the highway, you'll feel like a road warrior. But here's what surprised me around town. It's actually pretty manageable. Sure, it's wide. Sure, it's heavy. But the low center of gravity and responsive throttle make it feel lighter than it is at slow speeds. And when you're lane splitting or maneuvering tight spaces, it's not a sport bike, but it's not a tank either. Let's get into the tech for a second. Harley doesn't overdo it. You won't find giant screens or ride modes here, but what you do get is clean and functional. A combo analog digital display built right into the tank console. You get your speed, gear indicator, fuel level, trip meters, and even a tech if you want it. It's all there, just enough tech to be useful, but not distracting from the ride. No Bluetooth, no touch screens, no distractions, just you, the engine, and the road. That's the vibe. That's the promise of the Fat Boy. And in a world where everything is becoming digital and automated, this feels refreshingly analog, raw, real, and visceral. Let's pause for a second and talk price again. Starting at $22,599. This isn't a budget bike, but it's not trying to be. It's a premium cruiser, a heavyweight icon. You're paying for the name, yes, but also for the engineering, the finish, the ride, and the lifestyle. And if you've ridden Harleys before, you know a resale value holds. And the aftermarket, endless. Pipes, bars, bags, seats. You can make this bike yours in 1,000 different ways. Let me hit you with some numbers. Overall length a 93.3 inches, ground clearance a 4.5 inches, fuel capacity a 5 gallons, and a dry weight of 671 pounds. This isn't a bike for the timid. This is for the rider who knows what they want and isn't afraid to twist the throttle and own the road. Fuel economy, Harley says around 47 mpg combined. That's not bad at all for a big V-twin cruiser. With that 5-gallon tank, you're looking at over 200 miles between fill-ups if you're riding smart. Add a windshield or some soft bags and boom, you've got a weekend tourer. But more than specs, more than numbers, this bike is about feeling, about presence, about heritage. When you ride a Fat Boy, you're tapping into decades of rebel DNA. From its 1990 debut to this 2025 beast, the Fat Boy has always stood apart. A heavier, badder, meaner, and yet, this one, it's also more refined. It's smoother, more composed, less rattly, more rideable. It's a modern classic. Now, let me answer the question I know a bunch of you are gonna ask in the comments. Should you buy the 2025 Fat Boy or go with a Road King or a Street Glide? Here's the deal. If you want comfort, tech, and storage, go with the touring models. But if you want muscle, presence, and raw Harley attitude, get the Fat Boy. You don't tour on this thing, you dominate. You roll into a parking lot and people notice. The Fat Boy isn't for everyone. If you want a nimble daily commuter or something you can flick around the corners like a naked bike, look elsewhere. But if you want a bike that demands respect, that commands the road, and that makes every ride feel like a cinematic event, the 2025 Fat Boy is it. And hey, this isn't just a guy's bike anymore. More and more women riders are taking on the Fat Boy. And I say hell yeah. It's all about confidence, not size. You sit on this thing, feel the weight, twist the throttle, and it's empowering. It makes you feel like you own the ride. Let's talk accessories real quick. Straight from the factory, you can add things like a detachable windshield, passenger backrest, luggage racks, even heated grips. And then there's the Screamin' Eagle Performance Catalog. Stage 1 kits, exhaust upgrades, air cleaners, you name it. You can unleash even more power, more sound, more attitude. Want to wake the neighbors every time you roll out? Go for it. Maintenance-wise, Harley's intervals are generous, and the 2025 Fat Boy benefits from years of refinement. This Milwaukee-Eight engine is proven, tough, and well supported. Any dealership in the US will know exactly how to keep it running smooth. And if you're a DIY type, the Fat Boy's layout is pretty wrench-friendly. No crazy bodywork to remove, just solid, accessible components. So here's my take. If you're in the market for a heavyweight cruiser that turns heads, kicks ass, and refuses to apologize for being bold, loud, and built like a brawler. A 2025 Harley-Davidson Fat Boy is worth every penny of that $22,599 price tag. It's not just a bike. It's a feeling. It's a lifestyle. It's Harley, distilled. Thanks for riding with me today on Ride Waves USA. If you dug this breakdown, hit that like button, drop a comment below, and subscribe for more in-depth looks at America's finest rides. Whether you're chasing sunsets or city lights, we'll be right here bringing you everything two-wheeled and worth your throttle time. Ride safe, ride free, and remember, chrome don't get you home, but it sure as hell looks good trying. Catch you on the next wave.